Welcome back to Hearts of Iron 3. I'm Captain Yellowfin, and we are in a Germany campaign in the newest update, in the newest patch of HPP. I have had to take a break for real life reasons, so I haven't been streaming for 2 weeks. So it's high time we get back to it. First of all, let's switch off these old battle plans. So that's this. Now let's get back into what we were doing. I think one important thing is the anti-convoy warfare in the Atlantic. Now we have a submarine flotilla here. We should probably get back to port. Others are still more or less okay. And of course we are preparing the attack on the Soviet Union in the spring of 1941. It's now October 1940. So we have to think about our setup and our force deployment. I also have to think about the Balkan countries. Italy is in the Axis, and they are already on the retreat in Libya. So there is already a problem. I was thinking about helping out Italy. We have two options. We could either try to ship in our own troops, which I would prefer, because I think I'll do a better job at defending North Africa than Italy will. The other idea would be to give Italy an expeditionary force, so we can try that first. The problem with shipping in our own divisions is we don't have a port in the Mediterranean yet. I'm just looking at Yugoslavia. We could fight a war with Yugoslavia and just get a port for ourselves. That would solve a lot of problems, because we could also deploy units in the Mediterranean without having to sail them through Gibraltar or the Gibraltar Strait. I think there is no good way around this, because I can't deploy units in Italian ports, and when I send divisions to Italy, there's no way of making sure that Italy will load them on transports and ship them over to Libya. So if we want to do something, an Africa Corps style operation, and we'll have to do it ourselves. I think the easiest way is to just conquer Yugoslavia. The thing is, they are quite close to joining us. They are allying towards us, and they see the Soviet Union as a threat. But even if they join as an independent country, I'm not going to be able to deploy forces in those in Yugoslavian ports. So I'm low-key planning on a spring offensive against Yugoslavia. And then I guess conquering it will be the best solution. We can declare war on them, no problem. That's probably the best idea. Otherwise, we have to redeploy forces. We are securing the French Atlantic coast with a whole bunch of infantry divisions. We are going to need some reorganization over here. We also have to reassign some commanders. We don't need the highest skill commanders here. We've also redeployed some, or almost all of the army to the homelands, and we are upgrading some divisions to motorized infantry. This is ongoing. We are upgrading some light fighters to heavy fighters or multi-role. We are building up transports and escorts, but we're still at a very low level. We are upgrading some armor divisions to medium armor. And we did get started on some additional surface units. And we have 2 more armor divisions in training. Light armor, that is. I think we were also looking at some issues with strategic bombing. We do have some good fighter cover along the Atlantic coast. And we have naval bombers deployed. Some strategic bombing in eastern Germany. We are kind of low on fighters. What do we have here? What's in this? That's an air fleet upgrading to heavy fighters. We did lose some tactical bombers. I think we should redeploy these. And yeah, we have to think about army composition. So what kind of divisions are we going to get? We'll get 2 light armor divisions still this fall. We'll upgrade. All of this is happening this fall. The motorized infantry will upgrade until early February. So that upgrading infantry to motorized infantry takes quite a long time. So if we want more motorized infantry for future operations against the Soviet Union, we have to get started. If we want additional infantry, we'll probably also have to get started soon. Training time 103 days for an infantry regiment. For support brigades, it's almost the same. Let's see if we. Oh, it's October, end of October. We have 2 months left in 1940, and then we can start with Yugoslavia in, I'd say, around March, maybe, if we're lucky with the weather, mid-March. And Yugoslavia shouldn't take too long, let's say a month and a half. By mid-April, I would like to have as much time left as possible in the year for Russia, where the winter sets in. So if we're really efficient, we could conquer Yugoslavia by mid-April, and we could start against the Soviet Union by end of April, early May. I think that would be efficient. Okay. Yugoslavia can probably. Let's see, we have 3 spies. Let's get started with spying on Yugoslavia. Let's first get rid of their counter-espionage. And then we'll do some military spying on them, can determine how many divisions they have. I'm thinking about roughly 2 armies. Maybe not even. The problem is Hungary isn't in the Axis yet. It's a bit annoying. Do we have any decisions that we can take to bring Hungary into the Axis? Ask Sweden for military access. Doesn't really do what we want. Ending guarantees doesn't do what we want. Destroy the Maginot Line. I don't know why we would do that. Yeah, so yeah, we have to get Hungary into the Axis. But they're really close, so 25.33 is the difference between their neutrality and their highest threat. Oh, they see us as their highest threat. Needs to be lower than 25, so we're kind of close. Let's see, do we have 1 spy? It could be turned, I think. Maybe we should invest some diplomacy. We are already influencing them. We'll keep doing that. We'll monitor their status. We'll invite them as soon as possible. I think they should fall, so to say, soon enough. And then we have a wider front that we can use to attack. Romania is already in the Axis. Bulgaria isn't. Italy is at war with Greece, but they are not successful at all. So that's something we can help out with, probably. Okay. Let's unpause. We'll go slow in the beginning. This message I found out is just part of some cleanup routines when you load a save game. And apparently it should disappear by itself eventually. I'm gonna try that out. Normally I just click it away. Luxembourg still exists as a neutral country. Or convoy warfare is pretty successful. But of course we also lose transports here and there. Now let's get started with some things here. The message doesn't seem to be disappearing. I'll wait for another day. That's a great commander. So let's replace him. Engineers will be useful. Skill 4 definitely has to go somewhere else. We've also finished the retraining of one of our infantry divisions into airborne infantry. This is an excellent commander. I'm also not sure. I think the numbers of divisions that I left here may be a bit too high. Normally I keep one division per port and maybe a small reserve. We have some cavalry here for rebel hunting or quashing uprisings. We have some highly skilled commanders here. They'll all go into the reserve, commander's reserve. And they'll get new commands as soon as we have to set up for Yugoslavia. We also have to think about the battle plans. So I don't have any skill 1 commanders, otherwise I would use them. So I'm going to use skill 2 commanders without any traits, as long as I have those. Now in recent games, the AI loved to invade here. They love the Amsterdam, Rotterdam area. So I'm going to keep some divisions in reserve around here. The problem is I didn't really think about the number of divisions. I don't really have an overview anymore. I don't know right now how many infantry and armor divisions I have. I think I have around 15 armor divisions. I'm not sure. Maybe it's I already have about 20. So that would allow for 2 armor groups. Where a group has a strength of about an army, around. Maybe not actually. That would be, oh yeah, almost 2. Let's say 2 armor groups with 2 corps with around 5 divisions, or maybe 3 corps with around 3 to 4 divisions. There are a lot of divisions here as well. I have to make sure I move out the divisions that have engineer battalions. Which these divisions don't have. What about here? I think those are divisions I brought back from Norway to some extent. And then one viewer told me to check. We did lose an infantry division in Norwich when we were taking Norway, and I was annoyed by it. And he told me to check whether the division was shattered and was being reformed in Berlin, but I don't see that. So I think we permanently lost this division, and I think that was the only division that we lost permanently. And Norway is another problem insofar as the defenses are quite weak. And I have mountain infantry divisions in Norway that I actually would prefer to have somewhere else. Namely, I would like to have them in Eastern Europe or in the Balkans for my operations. I think that's why I brought the transport fleet here. I didn't mean to load all of these. I just want to load the mountain infantry. Let's see if I can move here. Don't really have any cover force right now. My surface fleet pretty much repaired. Maybe I should wait. Maybe I should bring a cover fleet. Seems a bit excessive, but if it means I can protect my fleet and my mountain infantry, I'll do it. This submarine flotilla made it back. They are reorganizing. The whole organization of the occupation forces in France is not very satisfying. We have ground attack planes. We'll rebase them. Further east. The 11th Corps has a lot of occupation divisions. I'm not sure. It's all a big mess because I moved out divisions pretty indiscriminately. I'm just detaching these divisions. I think I do have, I have some cores ready. I'll just do this. Just do some reattachments. Okay, so then we have a division in every port, and then 3 divisions in reserve here, 2 reserve divisions here. Let's bring this whole corps over back to Germany, so we can get some separation. I don't know what this lone tank division in here. Oh, this is the 4th Armor Corps. Let's redeploy them to Bavaria. Here, those are 13th Armor Division is upgrading to a medium armor division. How long is this upgrade going? The upgrade is about something more than 90 days. I think the upgrade takes roughly as long as it's building freshly, I guess. Maybe it's a bit less, maybe it's 120 days. How much production do we have available? Not terribly much. It's not. I don't think it's feasible to upgrade the whole infantry corps to motorized infantry. And maybe it isn't smart either. We have a high use or a high quota that we need for upgrades. We have a lot of reinforcement to do as well. That's mainly the submarines and planes that are taking damage, fighters. I'm very pleased with the raw material situation and the convoy situation. I was a bit worried about building too much IC, We've built up to around 400 or 380 IC, and now with increased technology and yeah, we didn't really, well, yeah, I guess the conquered area contributes some IC as well. I was worried about running out of raw materials, but that doesn't seem to be the case right now. Yeah, we're having solid surpluses. So that's good. We are losing some money on trade. And the United States are still supplying us with a lot of raw materials. With metal, we can take a hit. If we lose the United States, it's not too big of a problem. And because our convoy routes are largely safe, and because we can outproduce, although just barely, we can outproduce the lost convoys. We can even import from Japan. We will have problems once we go to war with the Soviet Union, but it's only a virtual problem, because the idea, of course, is to secure the areas that supply us with rare materials, oil, metal, and so forth. Yeah, so I think upgrading infantry to motorized infantry isn't really doable right now. So what we can do is we can move the 6th Army. We could move the 6th Army south to deploy against Yugoslavia. Let's move the headquarters to Innsbruck. The armor corps. I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess. Actually, yes. Let's redeploy the armor corps as well. At least one. This one is in the process of upgrading. Will actually soon be done. I think this is the design that I came up with for the medium armor divisions. We'll just have one regiment. I'm not sure. Can we build medium armor divisions somewhere, or train freshly? I think that's those. Yeah. Okay, so our medium armor divisions look like this: one medium armor regiment and 2 motorized infantry regiments, and mechanized support infantry, mechanized support regiment. So what's going on here? Okay, so that means we will probably swap this light armor regiment out eventually for for motorized infantry. And here also have a division that's in the process of upgrading. I will keep this one back. We'll keep this one back and then move it south as well. It's regular infantry. And then we have these 4 medium armor divisions. We'll tentatively move them south and east as well. And then what's here? This is a finished motorized infantry division. That's one that I upgraded. I would like to commit one more division for upgrades. It's going to finish next. This rocket test site isn't actually high priority. That's 23 IC. How much to upgrade one regiment? That's about 3 IC. So if we deprioritize this one, we can actually afford to upgrade 2 more infantry divisions to motorized infantry. Maybe we should do that. Let's look for... I think I have infantry divisions that have more experience than this. Yeah, they actually have more experience. This one has a lot of experience. It's already embedded in a armor core. So I'm suggesting we upgrade this division as well. And this takes, how many days is that? That's about 637. That's not actually that much. January is 31 days. That's 68. 70, that's 90 days. Okay, so it takes 90 days to upgrade one infantry regiment to motorized infantry. That's acceptable. That would even allow us to maybe upgrade an additional division once this one finishes. 90 days from February 7 on. That's roughly May. Okay, well, that would be a division that wouldn't be ready for Barbarossa. So we'll see about this. This corps goes south and east as well. I shouldn't really just forget about my fleet. That wasn't smart. Let's go to Bergen and pick up the mountain infantry. So the main idea here is to bring back the mountain infantry. Let's quickly send this division to Bergen as well. And then we have to think about bringing in more garrison units, just so we can secure Norway. Now we have roughly... There's one more mountain infantry division here. So now we have roughly... Well, in Norwich we have 2 divisions, and in Trondheim we have a garrison and an infantry division, and in all other ports we basically have 1 infantry division. That is not too much. I think a bit more would be helpful. I'm always a bit worried about my submarine flotillas. I'm also a bit worried about losing air wings. I think I had this air fleet of naval bombers here to help out my subs with their convoy raiding. And I think at one point I had something. Yeah, I do have naval bombers here. I think I was convoy raiding with them. Yep. And we have researched the twin engine airframe, or we have improved it. So okay. Yeah, we haven't checked. I didn't check in on technology. We should probably move one air fleet from here, so they can efficiently repair. Let's check the air map mode. So the strategic bombing has stopped. Okay, so no air combat is taking place anymore. So I think we are doing a good job of protecting our airspace along the Atlantic coast. Question is, what happens with Barbarossa? Because we don't have, I mean, we have some bombers and close air support in reserve, or that we're not using currently. But we don't have any. We don't really have fighters. We can pull away. Now let's check in on this. So we have 2 air fleets of light fighters here, 1 light and 1 heavy here, 2 light fighters here. That's it. That's about 5 light fighters and 1 heavy fighter air fleet. It is not very much. But I told this transport fleet to rebase. Apparently that didn't. We're still waiting for these for the mountain infantry to arrive anyway. Yeah, so I'm a bit worried about not having enough fighters for Barbarossa. Let's check in on intelligence. We decided to spy on Yugoslavia. Now let's switch it over to military espionage. Let's also check in on Hungary, whether we can invite them. Apparently we just did a trade deal with them, so I can't check right now. Sinking some British transports. And we're redeploying our troops. I'm kind of thinking I think the reason I might have brought these 2 infantry divisions to Hamburg to send them to Norway as sort of a reserve. So I think we'll do that eventually. I have a lot of unattached divisions here. Just starting to move divisions away, get a clear picture. Let's load the mountain infantry. And let's ship it out. And we'll patrol with the surface fleet. We have a British bomber here. They are resuming attacks. I apologize for the sound issue. The sound seems to be choppy. That happens sometimes. I'm going to quickly save and restart the game. Okay, we're back. Let's unpause. I'm gonna keep going at speed 1 because I have a lot of reorganization to do, but I also don't want to completely stop the game. We had this British bomber here. Doesn't exactly tell where we were being bombed. So let's see if I can switch on some messages. Let's see if this works. So there was some air combat here over Brest. Let's see what the military espionage reveals on Yugoslavia. Fleet is negligible. Garrison mountain infantry brigades. What about the border forces? Doesn't seem to be too much. We are down to 400 IC from 408, so I'm assuming we're being bombed somewhere, but I don't quite know where. There's a full infantry corps that we can move away. We have a lot of unattached divisions that we should take care of. Most of them are occupation forces. There's one here. This one could be Thailand wants to sign the Anti-Comintern Pact. Sure, yes. I think now we're not going to be picky anymore. Transports are back. Let's check out this small fleet here. I hope it's a small fleet, we don't really know. Maybe it only has a Norwegian flag, but it's actually a ginormous British doomstack. I don't hope so. Maybe if it's just a small force we can take out some destroyers or cruisers. Don't see. Guess they disappeared, so I'm gonna pull back the fleet. That's the heavy armor. Yeah, we have a lot of reorganization to do. So what do we have here in terms of headquarters? We have the 5th Army. We have a core headquarter in Paris, core headquarter in this Argenton. We have a core headquarter here in Cholet. Might not be enough technically. We have a core headquarter here. That's not good. This division needs to go. It does have engineers. We'll bring in some additional divisions. Romania is mobilizing. What's going on? Are they worried about the Soviets? They're redeploying troops west or south. Speaking of which, let's see. We still can't invite Hungary because traveling diplomats. We have an additional core headquarter here. Let's see if we can find a better commander. Something lower skill for the occupation forces in France. Okay, I think slowly but surely we are making sense. Yugoslavia starts countering our spies. So weird. Yugoslavia sees Soviet Union as their highest threat, while we were actually thinking about attacking them or planning. And we still can't. Why can't we? Why does the AI keep sending diplomats to Hungary? Yugoslavia is moving away troops from our border, and Italy is still struggling with Albania. How are things going in North Africa? Not good, not good. I hope they can slow them down until we have Yugoslavia. We might have to think about striking Yugoslavia early. Problem is, if we take Yugoslavia, we still don't have actually. We don't have any transports that we can use to ship our troops over. That means we should be building troop transports. Otherwise, we have to sail them around Gibraltar, which I'm not very keen on doing. And transports take 84 days. That's terrible. Should have thought of that earlier. Well, it's not too bad. February. Oh, they would be ready. And it's just a question of can we get across safely. But at least we would have 4 transports ready to deploy if we take this port. And then we can secure North Africa, or at least try to help out in doing so. What kind of units did we finish? We finished the 13th Armored Division. It does bother me. The inconsistent naming of divisions bothers me. I think we already have a 13th Armored Division. Yeah, the naming is terrible. The automated naming all this Grenzwache border control. I think they called Austria Ostmark. Call it this way. We have coastal defense. The 7th Army is in Norway. 1 corps and 8 divisions. I think we forgot to pick up 1 division in Oslo. Let's go and do this. And we have 3 mountain divisions. I think if anything, we need them here. Let's check in on the submarines. Out of organization here. Where is it actually that we are catching convoys? Here we're quite successful. Let's see, green. I think green are the ones that we are sinking, and brown. Correct, brown are the ones that they are sinking. This flotilla is actually quite successful here. And so are these. Well, this one maybe not so much. This one here, that's a good area. I think we are also seeing convoys that allies are sinking. I think these are convoys that the Italians are sinking. We also haven't checked in on Japan in a while. Oh yeah, so National China is pretty much done. They have even invaded Guangxi territory. All of eastern, central and western China is under the control of the Japanese puppet. That's great. They have reached Hong Kong. But they aren't yet at war with Japan, is this correct? Japan is not at war with the United Kingdom. Okay. I hope they will eventually. I'm not sure whether AI... Forgot about AI Japan. I'm not sure how likely they are to successfully occupy the Dutch East Indies and attacking other British colonies. We'll have to see about that. Are there any divisions that we can take? Doesn't look like it. We could ask Sweden for military access, and then I think we should do that. We should ask Sweden for military access. Sweden accepted our demands and agreed to grant us transit rights. Now we'll be able to defeat Norway. Well, we already defeated Norway. But the thing is, now we can easily reinforce Norway in case that becomes necessary. And we should also think about getting Finland into the Axis. So Finland is very far away from the Axis. I don't think we'll get Finland into the Axis before Barbarossa. That shortens the front in a way. Usually Finland isn't strong enough. I think we would have to send our own troops to defend Finland if it were in the Axis. And it's not very suitable for any attacks, so maybe it's actually a blessing that Finland isn't in the Axis. Let's try again with Hungary. We still can't invite them. We can also think about our war plan. Still don't have Hungary though, but I think we can attack with armor out of Fürstenfeld. I don't want to use armor in the mountains. We are being bombed in Leipzig. How are they flying into? I'm not sure where they are coming from. Probably Malta or Gibraltar. How to defend? We don't have crazy amount of fighters left. And we don't have enough fighters. It's increasingly becoming a problem. What we have just is enough right now to protect the Atlantic coast. It's not good. We're only upgrading, we're not really building fighters. I think that's a mistake. These armor regiments will finish soon, that'll free 9 IC. I think that's enough for maybe one fighter squadron. Yeah, barely. They take 114 days anyway. I don't think we have another choice. I'm going to add it to the production queue. How are the flotillas doing? Doesn't look like they're being bombed in port. Maybe we can reduce protection here. Let's send this flotilla out as well. Okay, now let's bring these 2 air fleets back west. Leipzig doesn't have an air base, but Prague does. Let's see if this works. Just have to be mindful. What kind of ships do we have? Oh, that's British fighters. Yeah. Yeah, now I don't have fighter cover anymore. Maybe I should move these 2. here and use them for fighter cover for my naval bombers. Let's see if this works. Okay. And we're also being bombed here, it seems. And the Soviet Union is killing our spies. Trying to steal technologies, but so far we haven't stolen anything. British air attacks are intensifying. I'm moving more air fleets east. Let's see if this helps. Now we can actually cover quite a large area in northern Germany. But we are exposing French Atlantic coast, and we have practically no reserves or air cover during Barbarossa. We'll have 2 air fleets consisting of 4 wings. Maybe with this cluster here we can stop using this one here. Actually, we'll keep an eye on where the attacks shift. They're still flying here. It's weird that I don't see any air combat up here. They're flying in from the south of England. We still have some air combat over these ports. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Why can't I load? I see. We're stationed in the city province, in the poor province. Soviets are building up their forces along the border. Still can't. What's going on? Why can I never use this diplomatic? Will arrive on November 22nd. Okay. We're going to have to check back on December 22nd. Is Italy interested in? They have a lot of divisions. Yeah, I guess a human player could make better use of the number of divisions that they have. First submarine flotilla spotted a convoy. Soviet Union is increasing its counter-espionage efforts, and the Italians have conquered their first Greek province. So I'm not sure if we should offer the Italians some military support. Let's see. We can go on an experiment. Maybe we can offer them the 6th Infantry Corps. Yeah, that's what I thought. They decline. Do have a lot of forces here. Hopefully they can hold on to this. Let's check in on our submarines again. They have a tendency to quickly disappear, get deleted once they are under attack. They're all sort of low in organization. So now that is just crazy. How can the British, they just bring 3 wings, but they dominate the combat. Skill 3, Vulcan tank thruster, and a skill 4, fleet destroyer. The stacking penalty. Maybe. Here's what I'm going to do. Canceling the naval bomber's orders. Going back. We'll pull back with. Let's see. We'll split this one up. Let's see. We have first naval bombers, second naval bombers, third naval bombers. So these will be fourth naval bombers. First naval bombers will be on reserve duty. Actually, I did have them on naval strike, with the idea of helping out my submarines. Let's give it a try. I'm doing this because I read about the stacking penalty. Now we have this one here. Let's try to split this group. Assign a fleet destroyer here. This one will become 5th naval bombers. Keep them on reserve because they are completely disorganized. And instead we'll use 2nd naval bombers. Let's use them on convoy. I guess they will still combine in air battles if they happen to be in the same province. So then the stacking penalty would still apply. Maybe we have too many planes here. Maybe I should make smaller air fleets, and then I would have more flexibility as well. Let's try this. What's going on in terms of I think British aren't going crazy with the strategic bombing. And we're back to 399 from 397. I think redeploying these interceptors here did have the desired effect. Let's bring one air fleet over. We're improving the fighter ground crew training. And one of our spies was detected. These interceptors will have to be renamed. We have first interceptors, second, fourth, fifth, third. I suppose they will be the sixth interceptors. Air fleet. They will need to repair anyway first. I'm wondering, maybe I should split up these as well. And then I can combine this 2 strength. Oh, then I have two strength, 2 air fleets of strength 2. Let's do this. They need a leader, of course. Let's assign another spotter. And they will be called 7th interceptors. Okay, so I have a bit more flexibility. What's going on with these? They are still upgrading. They take a long time to rebuild, even though they are prioritized. I don't see any air combat in the vicinity taking place. I'm not sure why they are so low in strength. Now, we haven't checked in on research in a while. Let's see. Fighter ground crew training is ahead of time. Fighter defense doctrines are up to date. Maybe we should get started on the next level. We also are still behind in infantry technology, although not much. I think that's okay. Maybe armor. Yeah, there are a couple of armor technologies that we could upgrade. Naval technologies aren't exactly a priority right now. How about bombers? Some of the technologies are up to date, others are behind, particularly strategic bombing. This is a pretty impressive range upgrade. I think we should get this one for the bombers. This one would improve the fighters, at least their air defense. And it takes longer, so maybe we should go for this one first. Here we could improve. These would be nice too. And I think I know why I held back on these. I think I was worried about increased resource usage. But I think at least the efficiency shouldn't increase the usage of resources. I don't actually know. Our resources are still looking rather good. We're building up some sizable stockpiles as well. Combat medicine is something we need to research. Provincial AA, that could actually be helpful against strategic bombing. I'm not really building provincial AA, but I mean we have them, and 75% increases is respectable. So these are definitely also technologies we should keep an eye on. There are no secrets that we can research. Next year, tank crew trainings, of course, here in land doctrines. Naval, yes, there are plenty of things that we could be researching, but it isn't a priority. Eventually, we'll have to research here bomber crews, ground crews, and pilots. Plenty of projects. Are we naval striking? Yes, we are. We are being intercepted. So why now the British don't have a stacking penalty? Let's see. Stacking penalty minus 50. And we still have minus 10%. Mission efficiency. Night modifier, that hits us hard. It's night. So maybe we should actually set these missions to be taking place during the day. I'm going to land them. At least we don't have the night modifier. Okay, so now we're actually doing pretty good. Okay, so maybe having size 4 air fleets is a bit too much. I think I'm doing better this way. November 21st, so soon we'll have to try see if we can get Hungary into the Axis. Let's start thinking about Yugoslavia. We did name our operations after animals. So for Yugoslavia, we'll just call it camel in German. Let's see, our own operations are in blue. So we'll have one attack coming from here. This will be an armored attack. It'll go around Ljubljana and then towards Rijeka, the port. That is a strategic objective. We have infantry, of course, here. I'm not going to cross the attack arrows, so I'll just draw the attacks as they continue once Ljubljana is secured. We should have one attack in these two rivers to the south, and another attack here to this port. Here we'll have to guard the flanks. I think once we've reached Belgrade, it's important to cross the river. Attack into Belgrade, flanking attack. Once we have secured Split, we can attack along the coast to Dubrovnik. And then to link up with the Italians and with the Bulgarians and Romanians. We'll have these secondary attacks later on. I think it's a pretty straightforward plan, and if we manage to get Hungary, which we can try now, hopefully. Yes. They're still at 25.33. Okay. We have to wait some more. If we get Hungary into the faction, we can revise the plan. We'll be able to attack on Belgrade quicker. I think we'll use armor here to secure the port, but maybe not too much, maybe only 1 or 2 divisions. And the rest of the armor will be used to blitz towards Belgrade. That should have priority. So these naval bombers. I told them to not attack during the night. What's going on? Why? Why is no one defending them? I don't understand this. Let's use this smaller air fleet here. See if we can get something going. Also check in on the submarines. They're actually doing quite well. They're actually regaining. I think they have more organization. Although I'm not getting too many messages about sunk convoys, so I'm not sure of being overly effective. We also have more submarine flotillas in production. I think, yep, and we'll get them next spring. 2 more flotillas. I could prioritize reinforcements. And we have a convoy hunter here. Enemies hunting our convoys. I could send out some destroyers, patrol this area against British submarines. I also have medium bombers available, which I could use. Let's give this a try. Two British submarines are patrolling in the Kattegat. And we're back to choppy sound. Going to have to save and restart quickly. back in the loading screen. All right. Okay. Let's see, did we get the medium bombers north? Yes, we did. Let's create 3 air fleets. Let's naval strike during the day. The occupation forces seem to be somewhat organized. This corps is attached to the wrong army. One, two, three, 4. I see. This is 1, 2, 3. This division doesn't need to be attached here. There is an additional corps. We might not need it. Okay, so I know this additional corps headquarter will go into this area. Take care of these divisions here. In order to break the non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union, we'll have to increase the amount of troops along the border. Doesn't look too worrying right now. Is there anything we can do about Hungary? Let's see if we can help out a little bit politically. We're running low on escorts. We're getting 20 additional escorts in a couple of days, actually. Okay. Maybe we should think about not using an army headquarters. Okay, so what's going on? Why aren't these Indian bombers not taking action? I think our training is too bad, probably. We could think about let's see. Our sea lane control is bad. It's 1918 level. I'm going to see if I can use 2 old destroyers. We'll call this anti-submarine warfare. They got the gut. Let's have them patrol. See if we can take care of this problem. British are increasing the protection of their convoys. Let's check in on our submarine fleets. This one is pretty organized. We also have, of course, to keep in mind that we have to keep up to date with the submarine technologies. Right now we're doing very well, I would say, overall, compared to other games. And compared to earlier in this game, we were losing a lot of submarine flotillas at one point. And we have an additional armored division. Nice, that frees up some production. Let's see. I think we should use this additional production to get started with some additional fighters. We have 3 battleships under construction. First one is due in July next year. I don't know why this is later now. I think we had an ETA in early in spring. I think it was May actually, or even earlier. But we might have researched the technology or something. Makes it. Also, these are increased in IC usage. I guess because we have additional technologies here. Yeah, British are attacking submarines. Which could mean they lose organization, but they don't lose too much strength at this point. Just keep an eye on it. No more strategic bombing in Germany. We're running low on spies, so we're spying in Hungary and Yugoslavia at the same time, as well as in the Soviet Union. It came down 1/100th of a point. It's not enough, so it'll take us 320 days at this rate. No additional decisions. And we're now incurring a penalty in that. I'm just gonna let the AI keep going. We might get blockaded. The United States might decide to not trade with us anymore. I'm just taking the penalty, but we'll increase the stockpile. We are having some increased air combat over here. We have plenty of divisions ready in the vicinity. We can start setting up against Yugoslavia. The Italians have been pushed back further. I'm going to try if I can offer the Italians a single infantry division. They weren't taking a whole corps. Maybe that was too much for them. Let's see if they will take one separate infantry division. Nope, we're not interested in that. The 18th Corps is available. We can attach these two divisions. Okay, I think now we have a decent setup for the defense of France and the West. 5 divisions along the Atlantic or along the coast of the Gulf of Biscay. Ten divisions along the Channel coast. 6 divisions in the Netherlands. 1 division in the north of Germany, and there are some reserve units in northern Germany as well. 3 divisions in Denmark. I think 4, 5, 6, about 8 divisions in Norway. With the plan of reinforcing Norway eventually, and then we also have 3 additional infantry divisions in reserve in France. Now I just need to make sure we replace the corps commanders. This is great because this will free up some corps commanders. The army commander was already replaced. Okay, so we have the 5th Army defending in the west. We have a bomber, a medium bomber, I believe. Where are they bombing? Close to Luxembourg. Let's... Not sure why they're bombing here. We should have... It'd be nice to have some interceptors here. Let's see. I'm gonna bring over the 6th interceptors. And I think we might have 2 6s already. Let's see. So the interceptors. I think these two overlap, so now they come and help, but they don't really help. They just create a stacking penalty. Let's see. How can I move them west? Right now we're in the process of creating smaller air fleets, but this way we have more flexibility. We catch some Syrian smugglers. We are not gaining money, but we have a lot, so don't worry about it. Okay. We actually have some pretty good coverage. Let's see if we can make things better here. Our air fleets are taking a lot of damage. Redistribution of old weapons. We gain a research point in a certain field. Okay. they actually shouldn't be able to help out here, so I don't understand why we had stacking 6 interceptor wings over here. Doesn't make sense. Our submarines are still doing okay. We could improve our sonar and detection equipment. We should do this probably sooner rather than late. We're still building some convoys and escorts. We'll leave it as it is. This will free up 23 IC. Could upgrade another infantry division, or we could build more fighters. More subs. We have a lot of projects. We're constantly gaining manpower. I think we're going to run low on spies in the Soviet Union. Yeah, we're losing spies in the Soviet Union. Let's reduce the priority and let's increase the priority for the Soviet Union. Yugoslavia, we'll reduce the priority. Actually, we can go back to 0 priority for Yugoslavia. We're building a cavalry division. The forces doesn't look like they have a lot of forces. They have enough forces to cover the border with Romania, Albania, and here in the north. It should be easy enough for us to punch through. The Italians in Greece aren't extremely successful. That is not something that can be said. War in the desert isn't going well either. So we have to make sure that we can seize a Mediterranean port as soon as possible and ship in our support. China, not too much progress. We managed to encircle some Chinese divisions in and around Chongqing. I think they will capitulate because I believe this is the current capital. I think they're putting up some resistance here. But hopefully not before too long. There will be National China will be history. Should also think about reinforcing our garrison divisions over with horse-towed artillery, horse-towed support brigades. Currently just assigning commanders. So that's 6 horse-towed support brigades that we would need here. Let's attach these unattached units. We're being strategically bombed in the south of Germany. That's interesting. I think the convoy attacks have stopped here. We can pull back these actually, we could see if we can do some convoy raiding along the Norwegian coast with some strategic, with some spare medium bombers that don't have really a purpose right now. We're attacking the strategic bombers, but it's not going too well. Subs are doing okay. See if we can do some convoy raiding. Soviet Union decides to form the Molotov line. Due to the westward expansion of the USSR, the formidable Stalin line fortifications were now hundreds of kilometers behind the front lines. In 1940, Stalin ordered the Stalin line to be moved west to the new border. The new fortifications were dubbed the Molotov line and historically were never completed. We shall make sure of that. Let's see. So this is a research project completed. We said we are interested in heavy AA guns, combat medicine, industrial efficiency, coal to oil could be interesting, encryption. Our subs could use some love, and our tanks for sure. They take a long time to research. Yep, let's improve the tanks. And we need to defend Friedrichshafen. We need to air defend Friedrichshafen. Some air base here. Why are they so much stronger than we are? Pretty extreme. Maybe they have the help of radar or something. The radio is 10% on both sides. They have more. No, we have more experience. Some of our units have more experience. Mission efficiency 10%. We don't have any mission efficiency. Why? We have all the... pretty much all the techs and all the doctrines researched. Okay, so I think We just need more fighters. So we'll order the next batch, so to say. Just keep expanding our fighter cover. What are the next things finishing up? Armor regiments, nice. Not sure why we need more medium bombers, but we'll probably be able to use them in Barbarossa. We're influencing Bulgaria and Hungary at this point, and Italy. Who is influencing? Also influencing Yugoslavia. We could actually stop. Oh, we can't. Okay. We can't stop influencing Yugoslavia. Italians are making progress in Greece. Hopefully they can stop the advance in Libya. I'm going to prioritize the reserve fighter air fleets for reinforcements. French rebels, some resistance. And we should also start assessing our forces. Now currently we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 13 infantry divisions in the east. Nine, No trust. Yeah, I think we need a lot more. We need a lot more divisions. We can't upgrade garrison divisions. We can't upgrade this one because it's outside of German borders, but we could upgrade these garrison divisions to infantry divisions. It takes 3.5 months. And if we train infantry, also 3.5 months. We need quite a few more infantry divisions. I did a quick count. That's about 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 infantry divisions here. And then all of what's here . Yeah, I mean, we can drop all the HQs. It leaves us with very few divisions. And if we take out all the special forces like mountain infantry and airborne infantry, it's even worse. It's another 60 divisions. So we would have 70 divisions. 70 fighting divisions, including all the special forces. Maybe some more because there are a couple of dispersed divisions here. Maybe 80 divisions. And even if I take reserves from France and Norway, that would still be way too little. Okay. So that means we have to go into an emergency recruitment and training program. Truck engine is 2 years ahead. We'll switch this research project over. We'll improve our tanks. Let's see about production. We'll, okay, so an infantry division uses a bit less than 15 IC. So these 2 planes, that's 2 infantry divisions. Okay. For all of this, these 2 medium bombers, 1 battleship, 2 series of escorts and convoys, and 2 series of, or 2 destroyer flotillas will be deprioritized. It's 2 infantry divisions, 3. Okay, so we'll go for a run of 4 in parallel. If I train them as reserves, this will half the IC, almost half the IC. Okay. That's 14 infantry divisions ready at the end of March, and then 14 more a bit later. I don't know if that's enough, but we'll have to make do. So that would increase. I don't know, I think we'll be lucky if we can muster 100 divisions. I don't know if that's, it seems low. I don't have numbers. I don't remember the numbers from previous games. But I think historically it was closer to 170 divisions. Well, hopefully I'll have the Romanians and Hungarians joining in. It still seems pretty low, so I'm gonna have to rely, as always, on the armor or encirclements. And it'll mean a setback for the Navy, merchant as well as military. But that's the way things are. I didn't even calculate the number of divisions that are going to North Africa. Now maybe the Air Force can help out. Okay, so we're not catching any convoys up here in the north. We'll bring these bombers back. See if we can catch anything in the North Sea. Brits have stopped with their strategic bombing campaign. How are we doing production wise? Yeah, so the AI just increases the amount for production, which means we'll take a bit longer to take care of the upgrades and reinforcements. That's fine by me if I get an additional 30 infantry divisions. I think initially we'll be okay, but the problem in the east is that the front line will extremely soon expand vastly. It doesn't look like Finland is going to be joining us. They see us as their highest threat. Let's influence them. Okay, finished the next level of nuclear research. We could get started on isotope separation, but we actually have a lot of other urgent projects. Like it will have to wait. At least our convoy warfare is modestly effective. I'm a bit worried about the number of divisions. It's going to be a problem. We'll have to be very effective with our motorized infantry and armor. That's 4 divisions here, 5, that's 1 corps. 2 armor divisions. We have again choppy sound, so I'm gonna have to save and restart. Unfortunately, this happens every so often. I think we have a lot of armor divisions. That's going to help create big pockets. If we play it smartly. I think we should have about 20 armor divisions. So we set 5 infantry divisions here. These 5. And we have additional 6. This one is upgrading to motorized. 8 infantry. Second motorized infantry division. 9. I think this one was earmarked for an additional airborne infantry. We'll hold off on that. And we have 2 armored divisions. That's about 3 cores, with these 2 cores here and what's left down here to motorize. That's about 3 cores. 4, 5, 6, 7. That's armor. So 6, 7 infantry corps. That's an additional mobile corps over here. It's not a lot. We'll have to think about a general strategy. And we definitely need Hungary. I don't know why their progress towards joining the Axis is so slow. They have a low national unity. And we are improving a lot of technologies, education, and armored cars, improving our support regiments. Now, can we switch that over to something more useful? Submarines would be nice, but not a priority. We are researching better maritime attack ordnance. Increased range on the bombers. Sounds good. How about fighters? More range for the fighters would also help in Russia. And then we have a long list of wishes here in industry. Thing is, they lose air defense. Them already struggling as it is. Escort fighters. I think we'll go with maybe it's best to just get the industrial efficiency, because this can be used across several arms for reinforcements and upgrades. And education is ahead of time. Okay, so this one will actually increase defense, so I can go for the increased range. Alright, let's do it. Problem is Hungary. It would be better to have Hungary even before going to war with Yugoslavia. Let's detach this infantry division. Okay, some additional leadership. That's useful. This doesn't really conform with my design for an armored division. And think about extracting these motorized infantry regiments. Maybe I should keep them the way they are. Also thinking about pulling off this reserve corps. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Doesn't look like there is an imminent threat of a landing, an allied landing. So it'd give me 3 additional infantry divisions in the east. Not exactly sure how to deploy my armor for Barbarossa, but I definitely need some of these divisions further west, further east. There's a small armor corps here. Otherwise, this division is incorrectly attached. command structure isn't optimal here, but it is what it is. For Norway. Denmark isn't exactly overpowered either. And we have 24th Army Corps. Which we can slowly move east. Some more infantry here. 10th Army Corps. The 2nd Army can also start. To redeploy. Hungary was selling fuel to us. And we are losing IC. I don't see any strategic bombing going on, however. I see some medium bomb. No, these are strategic bombs. It doesn't tell me where they are bombing. Just fighting the British here. I'm gonna cancel this mission. Sixth Army will be tasked with Yugoslavia. Meanwhile, the Second Army is setting up for the attack on Russia, which we haven't planned yet. Let's create a new plan. We'll not call it Barbarossa. We said we are sticking with animal names. So for Russia we could let's not be too obvious. With we could call it caviar or bear. But let's be a bit more subtle. Let's call it frog. Or Frosch in German. And Frosch will be... Let's see, I think we have... I have to check, but I think we have about 4 cores of armor. There's one here, in the 6th army currently. Now we have 2 more armor divisions here. The others should be somewhere under the high command. That's another core, so that would be 2.5 roughly. 3. That is not very much. Let's see. One medium armor and 11 light armor brigades. Let's check for the motorized stuff. That's 9 mobile divisions. Five mobile divisions in here. That's 14 plus these two, 16. Is that correct? I didn't count these. Let's do it again. 9. I think that's 9 mobile divisions here. 5 mobile divisions here. That's 14. 16 plus 7. 23 mobile divisions. That's 5 cores. If we split them up, we can create about... We could create 2 armor groups or armor armies. I think we need to focus, and for terrain reasons, we could plan with a quick offensive in the south east, secure territory and encircle units in ideal tank terrain, and we could fight in the north relying on infantry. And I'm talking focus here. I mean, obviously we could deploy a couple of units north, maybe light armor and motorized infantry, just to reinforce crucial attacks. But then we would put a focus on armor attacks in the south. I think that's reasonable. Maritime attack ordnance is ahead of time. What are things that we really need? What is finishing up soon? Assault weapons are finishing up soon, then we can put them into offensive support weapons. I think we're good in terms of... I mean, we could be more... It's okay. We can work with 3 research projects in infantry. In terms of armor, High fluoroxy. Yes, HPP is a mod. It's a super mod, or well, in other games those are called super mods, but it's basically, yeah, it's a large mod like Black Ice, and it focuses on realism and also on what should I say, on flexibility. It still allows you to go ahistorical if you want to, and I think it also makes the game, in a way, it makes it easier because it makes it more. I think it's more logical the way certain things work. Helps a bit. Also with the complications in terms of unit design, because all the support units are concentrated in one support brigade, so you don't have to decide between anti-tank and anti-air, for example, for your infantry divisions and things like that. So overall, it focuses on realism and simplicity in a way. And right here I'm playing on hard because it does have its own difficulty settings. They are separate from the base game. I didn't touch the base game difficulties, just the mod difficulties. They can be adjusted in the diplomacy menu. If you click here, difficulty settings, you activate this, and then you go into the menu again, because now you will see the additional options. Then you can set the difficulties. And right now I did set them on hard AI, but not for one specific faction, but for all AI controlled countries. And I think that's why we don't see it. It would be here between these two, between normal and very hard. But so far, I can't say it's I can't say that I noticed the hard settings. But since this is a new patch version, I wanted to try it out. And I'm considering starting a very hard campaign eventually, just to see how these exactly play out. Anyway, let's go back to deciding on research. We're also researching all the medium tanks. I don't think I'm going to pursue light tanks much further. Although I could. Or maybe, yeah, maybe we should eventually, but not now. Maybe we should eventually, though. Because we still have a lot of light armor divisions. These are the things that upgrade. Pretty much everything upgrades. It also helps with mechanized infantry, at least the engines here. Maybe eventually we should actually research some additional light armor technologies. Okay. I say we continue with the isotope separation research. It's nice to have nuclear weapons. What can I say? We have a lot of infantry divisions in Norway. I think eventually it would be nice to replace them, at least partially replace them with garrisons. Or some additional infantry. We will be freeing some IC eventually. Although I actually would like to continue the upgrading program here from light fighters to heavy fighters. Speaking of which, how are my fighters doing? The naval bombers aren't doing too great. I'm setting the naval bombers on priority for reinforcements as well. I'm glad to see that there is no strategic bombing take place, although we are down to 400 IC, down from 408, which is a bit weird. I'm not seeing any any strategic bombing. Let's create a headquarter here for these armor divisions. I think we are up to the 5th armor corps. We'll have these armor divisions redeploy. And slowly but surely we'll bring more sense and more order into our deployments. For some reason this air fleet wasn't set on intercept. I don't understand how the Brits can be flying through here without getting attacked. I'm not sure where they're flying. Are they flying here? To bomb Friedrichshafen? Nope. They're just flying unattacked through our territory. They're probably bombing Italians. Yeah. Huh. Let's see, maybe we can help out the Italians. Don't we have... Oh, heavy fighters aren't upgraded yet. Let's see if we can help the Italians. Some fighters. They have an enormous range on their medium bombers if they can fly through France and then around Switzerland. I think that's not it's not a bug, but it's wrong. They should have to be attacking from Malta, or they should attack in the south of Italy. But I think that's not okay. That's not how it should work. Especially they shouldn't be able to fly through airspace where I specifically set my own fighters to intercept. So my project will finish soon. We'll free some IC. The need for reinforcement has increased a lot again. So I'm not going to add any new projects. I think we should probably be adding convoys. 20 more are coming, but I think I should keep building convoys. I should probably add convoys in the infantry. I think that's probably what we need to do. Not sure anymore what the current number is. I think we had a 24th infantry corps or army corps. That's the 22nd, 24th Army Corps. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so we'll create the 25th Army Corps. For these infantry divisions. Okay, we're now facing a penalty for rare materials as well. That's okay, because that means we have a large stockpile. I guess it means we can scale back a little bit on building convoys. If everything works well, we won't be needing the convoys as much. We are defending northern Italy, so maybe we can help them with their. I see. How are they doing in north? It's terrible. It's terrible. They're losing terrain. But they are actually making progress in Greece. So yeah, and they took nice. Italy took Malta from United Kingdom. That's good. Convoy hunting. The Brits might actually be in a bit of trouble with the intensive convoy hunting. What's going on? How's the Italian fleet? Let's see how many battleships they have. 1, 2, 7 battleships, at least. Around 15 light cruisers. Okay, nice. Yeah, so they actually have a strong fleet in the Mediterranean. We did finish some. I think we finished the upgrades to heavy. Oh, not yet. Our own convoys are taking very minimal damage. The British fleet seems to be in trouble. I don't know whether they had a decisive engagement with the Italians, or what exactly happened. Japanese still haven't defeated National China, but they are closing and reducing the pockets. It seems to be a tough fight here in southern China, in the mountains. I think eventually we'll have to reduce the spy training and invest into officer training. I think we'll do that now. Increase our officer training, our officer ratio, I mean. This should also help. We might even stop research for a while. Somewhere in the spring to bring our officer ratio up to, I would like to see around 125%. That should help. We have choppy sounds again. Let's see. I'm online for 4 hours now. I'm gonna take a break, and I'll be back tomorrow night with more Hearts of Iron 3. I want to thank everybody who stopped by, and I'll see you soon.